Hello, everyone. I am Aday Lane, also known as Addie's Diary, and we are teaming up today again with Halftime Chat. And today, our guest is a performer, legendary, Grady Harrell. Grady Harrell, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm get these things out of my ear. I'm
Okay,
doing good today. How you doing, dear?
I'm doing great. Very excited to meet with you and learn so much to
Yeah,
unpack. Yes. So let's
thank
start at
you.
the beginning, Grady. Where are you from, and where did you grow up?
I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, and right there back in down in South Central, and then we eventually migrated to the San Fernando Valley, and all of my people are still there. I'm the only one that lives in Vegas now. So yeah,
Okay. And being
yeah.
that you grew up in LA, I'm sure there were a lot of opportunities within the entertainment industry. So, what were some of your influences at that time?
It was so many things to do in Los Angeles back in the day. All the clubs to perform at. But my very first interview, everybody knows my story, knows that Smokey Robinson was the one who really inspired me when I was 7 years old. And I just learned his whole catalog of songs from 7 to 12 until the Jackson 5 came on. I knew Smokey's whole catalog. And I got a chance to perform in front of Smokey last year at the Dream Awards, and I did a tribute to Jeffrey Osborne. They were giving him awards at the Dream
Mhm.
Awards last year, and two of my favorite were three because Johnny Gill was there too, and so they were all on the side of the stage a day watching me do my tribute to Jackie because I can make my voice sound to Jeffrey because I can make my voice
Mhm.
sound like Jeffrey's,
Inspired.
Smokey's, Jackie Wilson, Sam Cooke. And it was just incredible when I came off stage and Smokey just hugged me and he wouldn't let me go. And he's like, man, I
Mhm.
can't believe it. It's like, so I'm still high off of that because that's my guy.
Right.
Smokey was there because him and Jeffrey are very close. And Johnny
Hmm.
Gill is very close to Jeffrey. And they were all there watching me from the side of the stage. So it was a lot of pressure, but it was fun. And so it was Smokey who started me in the music business, and then of course the Jackson Five and Stevie Wonder, and on and on and
Oh,
on.
excellent. Great,
Yeah.
great. So that was like a full circle moment for you, right? You know, you look
Yes.
up to Smokey at 7 years old, and I can't even imagine just how that felt in that moment. Just wow, that's amazing. And
It
so
was it
I
was it was a
so
miracle to me. It was just a miracle.
Mhm.
Just one of the Motown greats watching
Right,
me and telling
right.
me I did a good job. That was it for me last year. Yep.
So I read that so coming off of 7 years old, you come from a very musical family. And can you talk
hmm
a little bit about your mother and her part in entertainment and also what inspired you?
Yeah, my mom, she grew up listening to her mom sing. My grandmother was an opera singer. And
Mhm.
so my mom started singing in groups and stuff like that. Her and my auntie used to sing a couple of times when he came to town to LA. Lil Willie John, she sang background with Lil Willie John. He was a big star back then, before Motown even started. And so my mom got together and started rehearsing in the living room with a group called the Friends of Distinction, before they made it real big. This is when Jim Brown, the player, managed them, and they
Okay.
used to rehearse in my front room. So music was always, in me, just listening to them rehearse. But by the time they hit their first hit record, my mother was no longer in the group.
Mm.
Their first hit was "Grazing in the Grass." Grazing in the grass is a gas, baby, can you dig it? Well, my mother was out, and I think Jessica Cleaves was in, but I used to hear him rehearse on Redondo in my living room. So that affected me. And my mother said when I was in her belly, she played all the greats, um, you know, on the record player. So I always listened to music.
Mhm.
And yeah, my mom was an influence on me and my uncles. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. So you come from a musical family. It's basically
Yeah.
embedded in you, as we can see to this day. Can you talk a little bit about starting your group, Papa's Results?
Yeah, well, I would always get young guys, teach them how to sing, And my mother had my mother tell her, she said I was pretty hard on him at a young age to learn the notes and the steps. My mother would always put me there, why are you so hard on him? Well, I guess I'm a perfectionist. But it was just guys at the time. And then there came a time when mother came to me and said, you should put Raquel in the group. And Raquel's my sister. And she's
Mhm.
got incredible vocal talent. She lives in the Netherlands now, in Holland. She met her husband over there when she was touring with Diana Ross for like 12 or 13 years. So
Oh.
we had a group. It was three guys, kind of set up like Gladys Knight and the Pips. And my
Mhm.
sister and I traded off with the lead vocals. And we were together about 6 or 7 years, and we did records. You can hear some of our records on the little records on YouTube. Papa's Results, Love Makes the World Go Around, Sister Sheila, and a couple other records that thought were lost forever. They're on
Mhm.
YouTube now. And then when my sister got the call to go to Diana Ross, we had been managed by Aretha Franklin and her sister
Right.
Carolyn. That was a treat, but we never sign any major record deals because Aretha was the most fun thing about Aretha managing me is being best friends at the time with her son Eddie. And I was already always over their house in Encino. And the Queen of
Right.
Soul just sitting at the piano playing. It was just, now I think about it, because I was a young man then, and I was like sitting in Aretha's living room almost every day. So we did all the clubs around LA, Papa's Results, Mavericks Flat, the Total Experience. We did after proms. We just worked so hard when we were
Mhm.
young, and that was our training ground, Mavericks Flat, with the greats, Lakeside, Platypus. Howard Hewitt was in a group called Beverly Hills. Richard Pryor, Shaka Khan, everybody came through Mavericks. So to be on that bill was you figure you made it. It was on the Crenshaw Strip, as they said. And Mavericks Flat was a training ground for a lot of young artists. And most of the artists got record deals and went on to become big success. The Whispers. And LA was jumping at that time of day. It was incredible. I mean, it was Brothers Johnson. It was just so many people that blew up. And it was a wonderful time to be around LA at the time.
So, how did the signing to Aretha come to be? I know you mentioned you were friends with her son. Was it, did
Yeah.
he mention to his mom that he could sing, or did she hear your beautiful voice and was like, I need to sign these guys? How did
Well,
that
that
come
was a good
about?
question. Her sister Carolyn, I guess, came to Mavericks one night and saw us performing.
Mhm.
And so she went
Okay.
home and bragged on Aretha about these four young kids. It was five of us at the time. And she said, these kids, you got to see them, sis. So we had to do a showcase, what they call it, for Aretha in LA. And she came down. I still have the clippings somewhere. It was an old newspaper, but we all took a picture that day. And Aretha liked us, and they signed us to a contract. The most wonderful thing that came out of that, when she married this actor, great actor named Glenn Turman, we played
Hmm.
at their we played at their wedding reception at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And Aretha's favorite group of all times is the Four Tops. And Gene Page was the orchestra conductor. Our first
Hmm.
appearance with the orchestra. So we did our show, and then the Four Tops came on after us. This was in 19, I want to say 78 or 79 when she married
Okay.
Glenn Turner. And it was beautiful just to be there, and all the stars were there. It was crazy. It was wonderful being around Aretha.
That just sounds amazing. It's just so amazing how much music is just prominent in your life then and now. So, you spent a little time with Papa's Results. So, what was it like after that, breaking away from the group and becoming, your own solo act?
Well, my sister and I are this close. We're still close, and we
Mhm.
still have our dreams. She's working in Holland doing stage shows all the time. I will go over to Holland and work with her and do duets, and they love it over there.
Mhm.
When Raquel got that gig with Diana Ross, we were all happy, of course. It was the most wonderful thing. She's on the road with Diana.
Hannah
And
Ross.
so, yeah, so I'm at home and I'm just basically not really doing nothing. I think I had a band at the time, or maybe the band came later, and I get a call from Jeffrey Daniel. Um, Jeffrey, of course, they say he taught Michael how to moonwalk. Jeffrey
Mhm.
briefly went to Dorsey High School with me, and Jody went to Dorsey High School. She was a year behind me, Jody Watley. So I get a
Mhm.
call from Jeffrey, and he said, "Hey man, my friend who lives here, the world is so small. His name is Gerald Brown. Um, their first big hit, Shalimar, was with Gerald, Jody, and Jeffrey. And their first hit was called Take That to the Bank. Take that to the bank. A long time we've been together, been through the stormy weather, you and I. Shout out to Gerald Brown. He's a good friend of mine. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Gerald, I guess, got into some discrepancy with Dick Griffey. He just dropped out in New York. So Jeffrey and Jody called me, said, "We want you to be in the group. But you got to go down and meet with Dick Griffey and Leon Silvers," which I did. And I had no idea that Howard Hewitt or Jermaine Stewart was also um, auditioning. So we know who
Mm-hmm.
got the gig. The best man got the gig at the time. That was Howard Hewitt. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel anything bad about it. I was kind of disappointed to be a young man. I just was wanting to be on the road and hang out with my friend Jeffrey again. But I look back at I listened back at the old catalog of the Shalimar songs. I couldn't even
Right.
fade Howard at that time. Howard was head over heels above me vocally. And
Mm-hmm.
so they made the right decision. And so I just started, never stopped singing a day. I always got a band to sing with and always did shows. And that's what I
Mm-hmm.
did for years until I got my record deal.
Right.
Yeah.
So at this point, you speak about your love of singing. Did you have any vocal trainings, vocal coaches, as well as like growing up in a church or some sort? Where did that training come
No,
from?
I, I taught
Talent.
myself. I
You were
literally
yeah.
taught myself how to sing. Listening to
Gift.
Smokey Robinson. I knew
Mm-hmm.
all his little innuendos. Ooh, baby, baby.
Yep.
Ooh. I just learned all his stuff. I know all his songs to this day. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, fast forward, my sister and I, um, before she went on the road with Diana, we were helping a friend of ours out named Vivian Tan. Vivian Tan was doing a show at this place in Santa Monica called The Horn. Everybody used to perform there, and we were singing background. Well, this lady, she's an actress named uh, shoot, I'll get her name in a minute. She came and asked
Okay.
my sister and I if we could, she's an actress and a singer, if we could sing background for us because she loved our voices, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Jillian, Google her. And she had movies on all over the TV, and she was a singer. So we sang at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, which is one of the most beautiful places to perform, right? Downtown
Mm-hmm.
LA. We were singing
Right.
background. So this had to have been in 1980, 1979, 1980, and we were
Mm-hmm.
singing background for Ann Jillian. So this cat approaches me, and he came backstage. He said, "Young man," he said, "now I can't teach you how to sing, but because you already know how to sing, but I like to show you some techniques so when you grow old, your voice will still be the same." So I went
Yes.
over to his house. I didn't know this cat from a can of paint a day, right? It
Mm-hmm.
turned out being Seth Riggs. But back then, I didn't know who Seth Riggs was.
Mm-hmm.
So Seth Riggs taught Michael, Stevie Wonder, George Benson, James Ingram, on and on and on. And so I knew nothing about that. I just drove to his house, which was 15 minutes from where I lived, in a better
Mm-hmm.
part of the city, though, in LA. And he got on the piano and he started teaching me.
Vocal horns. Yeah.
And he started teaching me those things. I'm like, I couldn't even do it at the time. He said, if you can't do the hold your lips. And so I did that, and he put it on cassette tape. He said, "I'm not even going to charge you for this, but I want you to take this cassette and you do your exercises all the time before you go on stage." And
Right.
I tell you, and then when everybody started talking about Seth Riggs later on, and I'm like, I met that cat. I was over his
Mhm.
house. And
Yes.
so that's where I got my training. Before I go on stage, I do that for 20 minutes. And I tell you, it's tedious and it's boring. But when I go on stage, my voice is like butter. It
Mhm.
just warms up your vocal cords. And so Seth Riggs, shout out to Seth, he taught me that.
Awesome. So we're gonna
Yeah.
head to comments right quick. Stevie Street says it's Grady Harrell, one of the greatest New Jack remixes. Patience, killer vocals on that track.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
thank you.
Says
That's one of my
Lee
favorites too.
Harris, Lee Harris says those Aretha Franklin stories are amazing. So much history.
Yeah.
So
Shout
yes,
out to
so
Lee. I love you, Lee. I'll see you when you come
yes,
out here to Vegas, dude. Yeah.
yes. So
Let
after your
say
vocal,
shout out to Lee for hooking us up a day.
yes, shout out to Lee for
Your
hooking us
nephew
up.
hooked us
I'm
up.
glad this
Yeah.
happened. So after your vocal trainings and you're just moving around in this industry, meeting with the legends, perfecting your craft as well, you were a Soul Train dancer for a little bit, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was so Soul Train was filmed right down the street from my house, and all our friends, was on Soul Train. I was so busy with my music that I wasn't like a regular like all of them, but I would go and dance on Soul Train because it was nothing but a big party. From Saturday and Sunday, we would shoot 4 episodes to last the whole next month out, right? And when I
Right.
first went to Soul Train, we jumped the fence to get over. And shout out to Chuck Johnson, rest in peace. He was a floor dance coordinator for
Mm-hmm.
years. And all our Soul Train family is still a big family. And it was just the amazing part of my life. I wish I had danced on it more, like all my friends, like Charlie Wu and Big Louie and all those cats. We still meet together. Matter of fact, they're giving a celebration for Jeffrey Daniel and Howard Hewitt on I think it's the 24th of this month, August 24th. Um, I guess it's their celebration of their year around the sun. So they wanted me to come and sing for Howard and go figure. It's like surreal. So I'll sing a
Mm-hmm.
couple of Shalimar tunes. Let me see where that is. The Soul Train. Oh, yep. 24th of this month in LA. All the Soul Train dancers,
Wow.
grown a little older, but everybody still looks good and still be dancing and partying. We still all close like this, all the ones who are still alive.
Nice. The
Yeah.
R&B vault says, "Did you know the Good Girls who were also Soul Train dancers?"
Yes, knew them very well. They were always around there. And then when we both got record deals, I ran across them in the industry. Uh,
Right.
yeah, ran across them. It's like that's the wonderful thing about when you release an album and you travel to all the radio stations. Back then, we used to have to travel to all the radio stations. You would meet everybody coming up. I mean, me and MC Hammer, he released his album the same year I did, 1989. His
Mm-hmm.
star rose, but RCA, RCA just didn't know what they were doing, or as legend has it, some big artist shut me down. But if that's true, I can't speak on it. But a lot of executives who are not in the business anymore, they're like, Grady, you know why your album didn't make it? Oh boy, he put a cease and desist on you and shut your career down. I'm like, well, I won't say who it was.
Right. Oh my gosh. I
Hmm.
hate to hear that because I've heard your voice. I'm like, this
Oh
should have
yes,
been.
and when I heard that today, I
Yeah.
said, "Wow, I love this guy. What did he have to be intimidated by me for? Is like to shut
Right.
me down? Like what?" It's still mind-boggling to me. But I was
Hmm.
wondering because Sticks and Stones, which was the biggest thing I ever did on RCA, went to number 4 on the R&B
Right.
chart.
Right.
And the president, Bob Buziak, said he didn't even want Sticks and Stones to be the first single. He wanted another song called Fun, which was a second single, to be the first single. We like, no, we got to do Sticks and Stones. Nobody's out there doing that and
Right.
sounding like Sam Cooke. And
Hmm.
so he said, okay, if it hits the top 10 of R&B, we'll cross it over. It hit the top
Hmm.
10, they didn't cross it over. And then they released Fun. Fun went to number 28 on the Billboard charts R&B. And then we didn't get another single, so had to automatically go in and start working on the Romance Me album, which did worse. Yep.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry to
Music.
hear that.
Oh,
But
the
yeah,
music
the
business. You get
business.
over it, because I thought I wanted to be famous. Now I know I didn't know what I was wishing for, and I'm so
Mhm.
glad that I didn't hit fame, because I would be dead now. I know I would, and so I grew up dancing and singing in front of folks, and I still do that. And I go home and sleep good. I don't have to go on the road constantly, living life on the road. I don't want to do that. I like doing the shows when I want to do them, and
Mhm.
I'm just glad I didn't blow up. It might sound like sour grapes, but it's really,
Mhm.
really a bad scene in that record business,
Right.
and the things you have to do to get over. And I would never do none of those things to for fame and fortune,
Right.
you know?
Right. Right. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. Your camera's frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, your camera's
I'm
frozen.
frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay,
It's
now
still
you're good.
frozen?
You're good now. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So we have another question from the R&B Vault. They are asking, was there a bias against West Coast R&B artists that limited your success?
None at all. I would travel to New
No.
York to none at all. Because R&B is different from rap. Back in the '89, that was a thing with rap, West Coast, East Coast thing. But all the artists who I did shows with back in there, we were all kindred spirits, like Big Bub and
Mhm.
Today. They were Today and Big Bub and Kwame. Kwame was coming out at that time. Some more East Coast artists that I toured with back then. Can't remember all of them. I met so many great artists, but we were cool. We were just singers trying to make a living. We didn't have no rivals
Right.
at all.
Okay. Good. Good. Well, speaking of artists and debuts, can you talk about a little bit about your process of getting your first record deal with, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Moana?
That was it's funny you ask about that. That was this album right here,
Yes.
right? See, I got it. It's
Yes.
funny. When's the last time you've seen one of those?
Oh, I have some. I have them.
So this album, yeah, this album. So is Batiki. Because my manager at the time, she was an African lady and she was from Gabon over in Africa.
Okay.
And she spoke Batiki language as well as others. My middle name is Baby, and so Moana is baby in Batiki,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's how it came about, and the overtones of the African overtones. This album was written by a man who used to play the trombone for James Brown. Fred Wesley is still alive,
Mm-hmm.
and he toured with James Brown for years. I hadn't met Fred
Oh,
Wesley, but she
yeah.
wanted to introduce me to, huh?
Your connection is like messing up. It's freezing.
Oh, still freezing, huh? Wonder why that is.
Yeah.
I'm still freezing. Tell me when I wonder why that is. Let me uh let me
Then
see if I can
three.
still freezing.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me go in a different place and see if this works. Tell me when it unfreezes. Let's see.
Okay, it's
Let me see
unfreezing
here.
now.
Okay, probably because okay, let me set up. Let me set up
Okay.
here. Let me get this thing to set up. Probably because I'm not close to the Wi-Fi. You know how that works. Let me get
Mm-hmm.
this so I can set the camera on it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen who are watching. Things go wrong during a podcast.
Yeah.
All right, hold
One of
on.
you.
Let me get my coffee so I won't fall asleep.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. All right, all right. Let me see here. Hopefully it won't freeze in here. Let me see.
Perfect
Okay,
in here. Perfect.
perfect. Okay. So, oh yeah. So Fred Wesley. She introduced me to Fred Wesley, and Fred Wesley produced the album Wanna, and um, and we had a good time with that. And Belinda came out on Constellation Records, which was a
Mm,
subsidiary of Solar Records. So me and Shalimar Lakeside, we were basically all under the same umbrella, and
right.
we were distributed by MCA Records. So Belinda, I had no idea that Belinda would be still a big old gigantic hit in Nigeria. I got so many people, and Jeffrey Daniels lives in Nigeria. And he's like,
Mhm.
Grady, they play Belinda every day on the radio. And so people, I got a
Mhm.
lot of Nigerian friends on my Facebook, and they're like, we grew up on your song, and this and that. And my manager, she made a beautiful video, Belinda, and it was really a great experience meeting all the great musicians that they hired. Nate Watts, Ralph Johnson, who plays still or part of Earth, Wind and Fire. It's so I didn't know the guys at the time. I would just read their names on records that they played on, and she had the ability monetarily to pay for the greatest musicians in Los Angeles to be on my album. Yep.
Wow, that's that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, it was a
Huey
fun
Street
experience.
wants to know about the track "Wanna Be With You," one of his favorite New Jack Swing tracks. How did the
I
track?
want to be with you. I really. Oh, that
Mhm.
see now that song was written and produced by Ron Spearman and Basal Benford. So
Okay.
my friend Andre Cleveland brought me all these songs, right? And I
Mhm.
said, I gotta do that one. Well, I want to be with you because it's just, girl, I really wanna be. Doesn't matter what we do, darling. It's just
Mhm.
like the song just captured me. And so I chose that song. I chose that one, Patience. It's five songs I chose from Basal and Ron Spearman. Shout out to them cats. And I love that song too.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
at this point, you were with RCA for.
Yes, that was now
Okay.
that came on the second album after Come Play With Me died down. Come Play With Me had Sticks and Stones on it and Fun. Then
Okay.
after that, we started working on another album, and then Romance Me came out in. Oh, let me show you. I'll show you right quick.
The third
Hold
album.
on. Yeah, this is no this. Yeah, this will be my third album. So this is 1 second. I got to show you how dapper I looked on the cover. I ain't bragging, but I'm just wanna. So
We
that's
want to
that
see
one.
it. Yes, we
Yeah,
want to.
like, that's that one. That's that one. That's that one. And hold on 1 second, you guys. Getting See, I got all these albums because what I do at my shows a day, I be selling the CDs at the show.
Wow.
Uh-huh. Even though a lot of people don't have CDs anymore, but
Hmm.
I sell CDs at the show, and they be buying them. You
I
gotta,
know.
you gotta, you gotta make extra money with merchandising, right?
Yep.
Take
Yep.
my so this of course is Moana,
Hmm.
and then the second one came with oh man. Well, anyway, I ain't gonna go back over there. This is the third one. Um this is one with I really want to be with you.
Hmm.
Yeah, that one, and we had a video to that one called "Don't Turn Your Back on Me," and "Don't Turn Your Back on Me" didn't do too well on the charts. And then after that, the deal with RCA was kaput.
Cut. Mm.
And I just went back to what I know best, performing and making money doing live shows. That's all I do right now whether it's on the strip or whatever. That's what I do.
So, what was it like at the time producing, one of your biggest hits, Sticks and Stones, as well as working with a producer who we all know is Stevie Wonder?
Yeah. Oh God, I totally forgot to mention that. Yeah. That, I mean, being in New York with Stevie all night long and then
Hmm.
falling asleep on the floor while he's doing all the music to the song If Ever. You guys can look at that on YouTube. I sing you a song without a word, still you
Hmm.
would hear my tune. Well, Stevie did all the music. He would get in the studio about 1 in the morning, and then he would work on all the music, laying it all himself. Everybody would leave because when he first got there, it was kind of like a party, and he always had spread with shrimp and everything, and we partied. And then it was just me and Stevie in the studio, and he'd take his glasses off and get to work, and
Hmm.
and then he wakes me up at 4 in the morning or something like that, talking about, okay, sing this song. I'll never forget that. So you wake up, your voice ain't ready to sing. So
Right, right.
I'm like, I sing you on songs. And Stevie said, get out of the booth and let me do it. Let me show you how to do it, right?
Mhm.
So then he made a little cassette and told me to learn it exactly how he sang it. But that was the most incredible. experience of my life because I grew up working, admiring Stevie Wonder and all the Motown acts. So for him to become a friend of mine was crazy. It was crazy. It's still crazy to this day.
Right.
You know,
I
yep,
can
that was something.
amazing.
Yeah, he produced two tunes on that "Come Play with Me" album, and
Hmm.
you can hear them both on YouTube. One I did with a beautiful young lady named Tyler Collins. It's called "You and Me." So me and her did a duet. I wanted it to be my sister, but because of politics, they said, "Well, I'm trying to get a deal for Tyler, so Tyler's got to do it." Um, and but on this album, my sister and we did. I said, no, my sister got to do a duet with me on this album, man, unless I'm not recording it. So my
Hmm.
sister and I did a duet called Kiss.
Okay.
And it was, yeah, Your Kiss. Yeah,
Awesome.
my sister's got brilliant vocals, man. She's bad, one of the baddest.
Okay, we have F. A Waka ask, can he talk about his sister and his niece Canella?
Yeah. Yeah, Canela, she's not singing too much anymore. She's rather, she don't like that crap shooter on the singing business. So Canela, if you look up Canela Cox,
Hmm.
she put an album out that Dark Child Rodney Jerkins produced.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and the album was bad. It's on YouTube. Canela Cox, and forget her first single off. That's a video off of that. But we raised Raquel raised Canela. They were around music constantly. I raised all my boys singing, and then when Papa's Results disbanded, I thought it was a good idea to have my oldest son Grady, my second oldest Anthony, and Canela do Papa's Results. So I would have them singing and dancing with me, as you see them singing and dancing in the Sticks and Stones video.
Yeah.
Well,
For
they
kids?
did so well that RCA wanted them to be in the Fun video,
Oh
but
my gosh.
but my ex-wife, shout out to Nancy. No, no, I'm not trying to come down on her. We're still
Mm,
like a blended family. But Nancy, the boys went to visit Nancy in Denver, and they just missed out on the Fun video, and RCA was very, very upset because they said
mhm.
they were getting a lot of call, like, who are those kids in his video? And so they didn't get in the Fun video, even though we had a good time filming the Fun video. But
Oh.
and so they all grew up singing, and
Mhm.
Canela finally got her deal, and Rodney Jerkins, one of the baddest producers out there to this day, he produced "You Rock My World" for Michael Jackson.
Mhm.
You rock
Yep.
my Yeah, I haven't heard of Rodney these days. I think he's doing a lot of gospel production, but yeah, he produced Canela's whole album. It's bad, but you can have a bad album, but you got to have promotion, and I guess it wasn't
Right.
promoted right.
Right. Wow. That's
Hmm. Yep.
see. Bam Max says, "Hey Grady, my mom and I love your music. Will you ever perform in St. Louis or Indianapolis? Don't turn your back on me. It's still one of my favorites, no matter what the record company said."
Oh, they love the song. They love the whole album, but it's like RCA Records is never known for producing anybody in our era. I mean, they of course they still got the Elvis catalog, they got the Sam Cooke catalog. I think they got all those old cats. They're living off of their catalog now.
Mhm.
Maybe Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, all that kind of stuff. But I don't ever remember them producing big acts. I mean, Glenn, I forgot Glenn's last name. He did okay over there, but Glenn who?
Glenn Jones.
Yeah, Glenn Jones. Glenn Jones was kind of cool. Then my little dude who played the guitar, we were always going out. He's from South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anyway. But RCA, man, the album, we did our job. They didn't do their job, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's like it never stopped me though. I just kept on. My sister's doing the same thing. My sons are doing the same thing, singing and dancing, making a living. And
Right.
so record companies should not make you or break you. You should because even if you get a big hit, you got to go out and entertain for people. You know what I'm saying? And that's But when Sticks and Stones was a big hit, to answer your question, it was so much fun meeting all the artists that I love who
Mhm.
also had hits. And we be partying backstage, James Ingram, Teddy Riley, a lot of those cats. And they looked up to me. They're like, oh man, you the next best one. Your voice is yada, 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 right? I mean,
Right.
it's wonderful to be admired by your peers.
Hmm.
And and then they skyrocket as far as selling records and you don't. That
Hmm.
that gets to a young artist because I was, a young artist at the time. But I didn't let it break me. I just
You
keep
didn't let it
on
break you.
dancing and singing. Yeah.
Still doing your thing. Still doing your
Yeah.
thing. Yes.
Hmm.
So with this third album, Romance Me, you ended up on BET with Donnie Simpson. How was that experience?
Yeah, I was on BET with Donnie Simpson on the second album as well.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
funniest thing, when BET first came up, they were playing Belinda. They were playing Belinda
Hmm.
back in like '83. And
Right.
but Donnie, I met Donnie when Sticks and Stones was a big hit. And I
Right.
still got those tapes around here somewhere. And Donnie, he's like, man, my mama loves you. So he
Hmm.
said, next time, he said, can you sign a picture for my mom? And so if you look at the second time I was on there with, uh, I think I was on there once on the first album because with Fun, they played it a lot, but I didn't go back a second time on that first album. I went back on Romance Me album with Don't Turn Your Back on Me. And so
Hmm.
he's like, Mama told me to tell you hi and this and that. So it was always great being on any, whether it was on Yo MTV Raps. I did a lot of those little things. BET was really big at the time. And Yo MTV Raps was good too in MTV. I wish I could find that tape because I was on there. Um, but it was always fun hanging out with Donnie. Donnie was a good dude, and he always tried to promote all the black artists at the time, even some
Right.
white artists. But Donnie
Right.
was always he was a fan of mine, and I shout out to him on Instagram sometimes to this day.
Mhm. Nice. Nice. Love that y'all
Yeah.
have stayed in touch. We are welcoming Namdi to the conversation.
Uh,
Great. I can't believe that you sang Belinda. So, my parents are Nigerian, and I went to boarding school in Nigeria. And when that song came out, we thought you were
Everybody says
Nigerian.
that.
I'm like, so you said I just searched on YouTube. I'm like, Belinda, that
Yeah.
was you.
Oh, you didn't know
Goodness,
that when we talked
you didn't
earlier?
realize how big it was. We thought you were Nigerian. We thought it was one of our biggest hits as kids. That was they played all the parties. It was national
Yeah.
stuff.
I meet so many Nigerians that tell me, and I didn't believe it until I talked to Jeffrey Daniel, and he said, "Dude,
Yeah, yeah. Jeffrey's
yep."
out there. Shut
He
up.
said,
Yeah,
"Dude, they play your record every day." I said, "What?"
yeah,
He said, "Every day." And every Nigerian I talk to, man, they say we grew up on Belinda, and that's a
yeah,
wonderful
yeah,
thing
yeah.
always.
We thought you were Nigerian. Did you ever come to Nigeria
Never,
to
but
perform?
I've gotten recently. They like, dude, you can fill a stadium if you come out here. I'm like, I'm like, well, let's make it happen. And they're like, okay, I'm gonna work on it. But it's saying it and doing it is one thing. Doing it is another thing. You have to have a promoter who's gonna bring me over there, and I want to go because I got a lot of people who love my music over there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll see you
Hmm.
guys.
Thank you, Namdi.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's crazy.
So
He's Nigerian. I didn't know
yes,
that.
yes, he is.
Wow,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
crazy. Oh,
We have another question from Lonnie Clark. Lonnie Clark asks, "What do you think about today's music?"
oh man, it's great. I mean, it's so many great artists because music always evolves. It
Mhm.
evolves just like back in when they had rock and roll, and then they came with the R&B, and then they came with the rap. It's gonna continue to evolve. It can't stay the same.
Right.
So, but you have cats like Bruno Mars. He's pulling back from the '70s. He's going back, and because I think the '70s, my opinion, humble opinion, was the greatest music in the world in the '70s. It was just so much music, and of course the Motown sound, which came out in the mid '60s and anyway. But '70s had so much good music, and that's why on Bruno's last album, and what he did with Anderson Paak, that was a great album because he pulled back from a lot of you know But I love Bruno. I love all the new cats. It's so. I mean, when I'm scrolling Instagram a day, and you
Mhm.
probably can attest to this, it's so many people who can sing. It's
Yes.
ridiculous. And I
Yes.
and I follow all of them. I'm like, oh my God. And I send it to my son Grady. I'm like,
Mhm.
listen at this. It's
Mhm.
so many incredible singers that be riffing. And I'm like, oh my God. Like it's just so many.
Right.
Um, so that keeps me on my toes. I listen to young singers and what they do.
Mhm.
You never stop learning. So
Right.
the new cats, they ain't no joke. They are
Mhm.
singing these days. Like
Yes.
that young cat who just won American Idol,
Yes.
Jamal.
From Mississippi.
Woo.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Yeah.
did you see that little gospel dude on there, 17-year-old one?
No.
He was 17, black guy. I guess you don't follow because I follow. I looked at every episode.
No.
This little black 17-year-old, he was big and thick. He reminds you of a younger version of Marvin Winans. This
Wow.
dude was, I'm not gonna say he outsang Jamal, but he outsang
Mhm.
Jamal. But he
Mhm.
never sang any rock tunes or R&B. He always sang gospel tunes. And I know
Mhm.
that's why he didn't win because the dude sang better than everybody on the show. I forgot his name, but he probably saw what was in store for him and he didn't want to leave his church and all that came with it because
Right.
he
Right.
made the right decision because this business, woo, he's a humble little dude. And
Mhm.
you didn't see that episode, and then
No.
that Kirk Franklin got on the show and tried to pull him like pull him to the side on the side because I guess the little guy wasn't moving enough for him. So
Mhm.
Kirk Franklin pulled him and tried to pull him over to the side of the stage, like, come on and move. But that little guy, whoo, look,
I'm gonna have to look it up because you speak
he's
very highly
incredible, Day. This
of
cat,
yes.
he still blows my mind thinking about this little. He's on YouTube. If I only knew his name, say what is that singer's name? Ugh, Google will tell you.
Amazing.
He was not. He was a. He came straight from the church, but
Hmm.
he was incredible. Yep.
Awesome. So we have Lee asking, let me go back. Are there more videos in the vault, I'm guessing, of Grady's performances live in the 80s and 90s? And did you ever do a tour with Belinda?
With who?
Did you ever do a tour with Belinda?
No, I didn't. I never toured with Belinda. Uh, I never did a tour with Belinda, but you know, if you look at there's a couple of things on my YouTube page. It's Mellow slash Baby, like Mellow space Baby, Mellow Baby. That's my YouTube page. Or you can put Grady Harrell in there and then put MELLOW space Baby. Then it come up because if you just put Mellow Baby in there, a lot of Mellow Babies will pop up. So you can
Right.
put Mellow space Baby and Grady Harrell. And there's something I put on there with me doing. I think it was "Girl, I Really Want to Be with You." Um, and I might have did Sticks and Stones in one of the big clubs in Hollywood. But I got a lot of things on that VHS, you know,
Yes, yeah,
reel.
I saw it. Yeah, yeah. So look,
But
the video, if you look up the video of Belinda on YouTube, it's not as clear as the one on your channel. So I love seeing it in like HD on your channel. Yes.
yes, I saw that
Yes.
a day, and I'm like, oh, somebody put this in HD, and I'm like,
Mhm.
wow. So I think I put it up there. I just put it up there 2 nights ago, or maybe last night before last. I said,
Mhm.
this is a clear version of it. And so I
Yes.
put it up there. I try to
Mhm.
get everything off of my phone and off and put it up on YouTube and
Yeah.
not Facebook. Because Facebook can shut you down and you lose all your stuff.
Mm.
So is anything I do, it's all on Facebook. There's so much stuff. All the tribute acts I do, Four Tops, the Jacksons, the Temptations, Jackie Wilson, Sam Cooke, all of that
Mhm.
stuff is on Facebook that I do. I'm sorry,
Okay.
YouTube. YouTube,
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it. And our host Nambi just linked his YouTube in the chat, so you all can go click right there, subscribe, and keep all updates on his channel.
Yeah.
My next question, and what I'm in shock. This is where I come in shock because, you know, the Jacksons, the American Dream, hit in 1992. I remember being in fifth grade in the early 2000s, and just me and my siblings. It would come on BET all the time. We love Jackson American Dream. Can you please tell us about the process of getting the role of Jackie Wilson?
Yeah, I can't make this stuff up. So, I got all these talented sons, brother, shout out to all my sons and my daughters. Um, so they were little kids at the time, and coming down from the Sticks and Stones hit, which hit in '89, and it took me all the way to the mid. Uh, I would go out and people still would recognize me in '91. And then I had a manager at the time. His name was Tony Jones. His cousin is Suzanne DePass. Well, Suzanne DePass worked with the Jackson Five when they were young, and she was right. She's the one who told Barry he should sign these kids. Suzanne was producing the miniseries with Jermaine Jackson. So
Mhm.
Tony, who worked right up under his, I think he was her assistant at the time, he told me they were doing a Jackson story. He said, I heard you got all these talented sons, man. You know, bring them down and we'll open the back door for you so you'll beat the cattle call. And that's what I did. I'm taking all my sons, Papa, Jake, Grady, Anthony. I'm taking them all on the auditions, and my nieces, Kanela, Brooke, my daughter, and I'm taking them on audition, callbacks. The last day of callbacks, to make a long story short, they say, we want to see Grady maybe playing Jackie Jackson at this age, Anthony, Yachty, and on and on and on. And we want to see you. I'm like, you want to see me? I didn't audition. I'm just taking the kids. He said, well, yeah, Jermaine said you look a lot like Jackie Wilson. Do you know any of his tunes? I lied and said yes. And so, yeah, so I was scared to death. They said, well, prepare a tune, come back tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. So I
Right.
went back the next day, and I kind of knew that song. Your love lifting me higher than
Yes.
I've ever. So I sing. I went
Hmm.
down. Michael's mom, Miss Jackson, was there. Jermaine and his girlfriend Margaret at the time. They were producers on it. Michael Peters, who choreographed Michael Jackson's Thriller video, Billie Jean video. Not Billie Jean. Beat It video. Rest in peace, Michael Peters. They were all there in a little room, and they were sitting on these on the risers, and I had to get up and sing. I never saw Jackie perform, but I know that he taught Elvis some stuff. Him and Elvis were good friends, and he taught Elvis some stuff. So I put my collar up, trying to be like,
Hmm.
I tried to do my best Jackie, and I got the job. They
Hmm.
called me, so you got the job. Um, go down to Harold Wheeler in the studio because just Jermaine talking. He said, "Hey man, they don't know if you could sing the part. They want you to be on the screen playing the part, just like all those other young kids were on the screen playing the part. But guess who was singing Michael's part? My son, Anthony Harrell. Look at the
Wow.
credits. That's Anthony Harrell singing all that. I was right in the studio next to him because I know how to phrase like Michael. And I was telling Anthony what Michael would do. So
Hmm.
Anthony at least got that job and made more money than I made on mine. So
Hmm.
they said, go down to the studio and record Baby Work Out. And because all the producers and everybody is not sure if you can do it. And so I went down to Harold Wheeler. He was in charge of all the music. And I
Hmm.
sing, hey, you, come on in here on the floor. See, I was singing it the way Grady was singing, right? Come
Right.
on in here on the floor. Let's rock some more. Come on in here on the floor. Jackie didn't sing like that. So if you listen at the movie, I was singing it like me. I hadn't got my Jackie voice until when it aired on TV. Everybody, I never knew nothing about a tribute artist at all. We all wanted to get record deals and make our own songs. I
Hmm.
never knew until it came out in '92, like you said, in August. After it aired, people started calling me a day all around the country to do Jackie Wilson tributes, right?
Oh.
So I'm in Birmingham, Alabama, and I used to always talk like this to my brothers and sisters anyway, right? Hey, mama
Hmm.
said, clean up that, right? So
Hmm.
I'm listening to Jackie's voice, and I'm like, wow, I'm not doing him right singing, come out of here on the floor. That's me. Jackie's voice is different. It's like a cross between an opera singer and an R&B singer.
Hmm.
So one day I was on stage in Birmingham, and I started singing, someone to care, someone to share, lonely hours. they didn't believe it. They said, "Oh my God!" And I
Yes.
knew I had my Jackie Wilson voice,
Oh
and
my.
it's crazy that I
Yes.
found it's the voice I used to always use when I was a kid. So
Mm-hmm.
if you listen to a lot of artists back then, they all kind of sang in that voice.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie, even Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes.
no,
Yes. Yes. No,
no,
you're singing
no,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
they all had that kind of throaty voice like that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And that's how I got to find my Jackie voice. Is that crazy? That's
Yes,
crazy.
even you just singing a little clip of it, it's just taking me back to, his To Be Love track. Like that is so
Yeah,
amazing. When you just, oh my gosh.
yeah,
So
yeah.
wow, wow. Like
That's
even in
crazy.
you guys, you have to go see his performance as Jackie Wilson in Jack's American Dream. Even your footwork, I'm just like, how do you even how? You're
Now,
working.
a
Wow.
day. The funniest thing is that so I come from dancing stock, right?
Okay.
Michael Peters, remember, was the choreographer. So
Mhm,
me and Michael Peters, I always forget to tell this story. We met in a dancing studio,
mhm,
and he said, "Show me what you got," right? So I started doing exactly what I did on the movie. He said, "I don't even have to work with you because I know how to perform in front of people, right?" And so Michael Peters, I think he only thing Michael said, shuffle to the left. He said, "Why don't you shuffle to the left? Like, shuffle to the left, wobble to the right." And he said, "Wobble to
mhm,
the right." And he said, "Put that in there." And that's what I did. And it was my idea to fall on my knees because people said that Jackie would always fall on his knees. He would jump in the audience and all the girls would rip his clothes off, although I didn't jump off the stage.
right.
Because we filmed that in downtown LA and they
Mhm.
tried to make it look like the Harlem, the Apollo, and that's what I did. And it was no audience when I did my
Wow.
film. They just edit that in there. So it only took me 2 hours to film it, and
Mhm,
Debbie Allen was there sitting in the audience. Jermaine was there, the director, and I think Suzanne DePass was there, everybody else was the crew and the actors who was in the
mhm,
band. No audience. So when I finally saw it, when we had the rap party, I'm like, wow, they put an audience. I was wondering what they were gonna do. So
mhm.
that's how they put the audience in. They added it,
Okay.
edited in
So
there. Yeah.
was there's like so in the film it's like it cuts to a young Jason Weaver who's playing a little Michael. Were they there at the time of filming or no?
Um. Oh yeah, yeah. See, because I had to walk right past them.
Mhm,
See,
yes.
because the Jacksons, I remember the director told me now the Jackson Five have not blown up yet. They don't
Mhm.
have a record deal. They're not with Motown. They admire you. So
Yes.
if you see me walking out on the stage, I really don't pay no attention. I'm just walking out getting ready. They said, "Don't you even So they were the ones crazy about me, especially
Mhm,
Michael. And that's why he said, "No, Dad, that's Jackie. I want to stay and watch him." So I just walked by Jason, and we did that twice or something. And I'm looking, waiting to go out, waiting for the guy to announce my name. I didn't even look Michael's way,
mhm.
or Jason's way. Yeah.
Did you at the time did you expect the film to be so big, as big as it was when it debuted?
I figured I've always been a Jackson fanatic. I love the family, so just working with the family and even when I didn't, my part was over. The director said, "You're welcome to come to any filming," which I did. Every
Mhm,
time they filmed, I was there watching, and everybody showed up on the set, but Michael. Michael never came on the set, but
okay.
Jackie would come. Jermaine, of course, he was always there because he was producing it. Um, Reby would come. I don't remember seeing Janet on the set, but Marlon, all of them visited the set. Tito, um, and I just had a crush on Angela Bassett, so I wanted to go down there and try
Yes.
to hit on her, which I did. Right?
Yes.
So, but
Mhm,
she said, "Oh, you're too young for me." I'm like,
mhm.
I wanted to say I'm not as I'm like in your ballpark, I think, but I
Right.
guess back then I looked a lot younger. Like everybody thought Grady and Anthony and me were brothers, and
Mhm.
so but I just was mesmerized by Angela Bassett as are most men.
Right. So did
Yeah,
you see there's a gentleman by the name of Wiley Draper. He plays the Michael
Michael.
Jackson when
Hmm.
when they're older. Did you get to see him perform?
Yes, I went on
Yeah.
that. See, I I mean, I'm a critic. I'm a critic
Mhm.
of anybody who tries to do the Jacksons who can't, because they were so stylish, they were so incredible.
Hmm.
Wiley was good, but Terrence and all them other guys, I'm so sorry for saying this, but if you look at Jackie and Marlon, who
Hmm.
were dance fiends, and all three of them, Michael and Marlon and Jackie dancing together, then you compare it with um, the up Terrence and the other little guy who played Marlon, and then the two guys who played Tito and Jermaine. To me, it was literally a joke
Hmm.
because I grew up with the Jacksons. I'm Marlon's age, so I was not impressed, and I was cracking jokes on the set to my sons. I'm
Hmm.
like, look at these clowns. Are they trying to
They couldn't
be
get it.
who?
Yeah.
And who made these steps? Who the Jacksons? Their choreographer, I guess it was Michael Peters. Oh my God, I don't want to say
Hmm.
nothing, but the Jackson Five, and I'm gonna get off of this subject. They were known for their incredible choreography and
Hmm.
their, I mean, efficiency. So when I saw the steps they did, I was not happy because I was there when they filmed the Victory Tour, and it was like, nah,
Wow.
yep,
Wow. It's
I
just.
was cracking my sons up.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to Wiley because I didn't know, like, our dad told us, like, when we were young, he passed away super young. So,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
leukemia got him.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
All the cats were nice though. All the guys were nice.
Hmm.
Everybody was sweet. I mean, it's just why not be nice? Because you're filming, you're working. Everybody's just happy they had a job
Right.
to work at and represent for America's first wonderful musical family. It was so cool. I grew up literally idolizing these people, and I don't believe
Hmm.
idolizing anybody. But when I was 12 years old, I'm like, oh my God, I had been singing for 5 years. Now
Hmm.
there's kids doing what I want to do. So to finally be around these cats and to see them come and go I was still mesmerized. Even in
Yeah.
when I see them, anytime I run across Jackie or Jermaine, I still feel like a kid again. Like these cats
Mhm.
made history, you know?
Yes, that is amazing. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like, wow, that. And then
Yeah.
it's like for me, like just watching all of you growing up, but I'm from a newer generation. I just want to give
Yeah.
everyone their flowers. Like, I want to know these stories. I want to know what you have to say about your journey. And wow, this is amazing. Yes, I tears are coming. Like, I'm trying to hold back tears. Like, this is amazing, Grady. So thank you so much
Yeah.
for being here. Really.
Oh, no,
Um,
thank you for having me today.
no problem, no problem. So you can talk about a little bit what you're doing now. You know, you spoke about being a tribute artist, but where can we see
Yeah.
you? I know you mentioned Vegas. Yes.
Yes, paying the bills. So I
Mm-hmm.
appear all over the place. So my next shows are we're playing at the South Point Hotel and Casino doing a tribute
Okay.
to the Mighty Temptations. I love doing that. You can see a little bit of what we do on my YouTube page as well.
Yep. Yep.
They were
In a clip.
another group known for their choreography and the way they dress. Shout out to Otis Williams who started it all. He's a last living member, original. So we're doing 4 nights there. The 28th of August, the
Okay.
29th, the 30th, and the 31st. This is our third year there. And
Mm-hmm.
so after that, we do a lot of shows out of town. We leave and go to we're doing the tribute to Earth, Wind, and Fire. Because I'm
Okay.
like, I pride myself on, I can sing like Philip Bailey, Maurice White, anybody. And then Michael Yorkel, he wants us to do a tribute to Cool in the Gang, which
Mm-hmm.
we're going to start getting booked for that. But I never turned down anything. Unless you're just so busy, I don't believe in turning down work. And
Right.
people want to pay you to do something, then I believe that to pay the rent to live in this place, I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
it. And we all need a car to drive. We all some people, unless you're in New York, but in Vegas
Right.
you got to have a car to get you the gigs. But I love singing and dancing. It makes me
Mm-hmm.
feel young again. And see the tapes I do right now on stage. I feel like a youngster still. And
Mm-hmm.
thank Jehovah God that I'm still healthy enough to perform. You know,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. So you have
So
been a
anybody
music.
who's out there who's interested in coming to the South Point Casino, August 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st, the tickets are only $36. The showroom sits about 450 people. Big,
Mhm.
beautiful showroom, and it's usually sold out all 4 nights.
Wow.
Yep. My
Are
dude
you gonna
Lee
be
Harris is coming. Huh?
Are you gonna be in Vegas in September?
Um. Oh, I got to look at my schedule.
Okay, I'll contact you after because I'll be in Vegas and I would love to see you
All
perform
right.
in September. Yeah.
All right. What? Hold on. I'm gonna be finished in a minute. Okay. Sorry, Dave. My mom was talking to me.
So I was just asking, were you going to be in Vegas in September performing? Because I'll be there and I would love to catch a performance. I'm
Really?
not
You
sure.
gonna be here?
Yeah, I'll be in
Um.
Vegas in September sometime.
Really?
So
Okay.
I'll,
Well, I'm going to tell you.
yeah,
I'll email you because I got your information. I'll
yeah,
message you.
okay.
September. Are we gonna be here doing anything? I know we're gonna be over in Wisconsin. We're gonna
Mhm.
be. Oh, I'll let you know a day.
Okay, let me know. Let me know.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
you have been a musical teacher as well as getting lessons all your life. Your sons turned into the group Brother. What was that
Hmm.
process like?
Um, it was wonderful teaching them how to sing. Grady and
Mhm.
Anthony would say that I was a little hard on them, but now they're making a living at it. And I was with Anthony. I drove to his house yesterday to pick up
Okay.
my check. Anyway, but we both sing for all three of us. We sing for this company called West Coast Music.
Okay.
And if you guys go to westcoastmusic.com, we do a lot of high level gigs.
Hmm.
Like I think Grady and them sang at Justin Bieber's wedding reception, LeBron James' wedding reception, Scooter Braun, who used to manage Justin Bieber. So we do gigs like that. And most of them a day are wedding receptions for the rich and famous. So we all get our checks are cut the same time. So I'm like, hey man, Anthony, are you going to LA to get your check? So
Yeah.
Grady went to pick the checks up. I said, well, I'll go to Barstow. I'd rather drive 2 hours to your house than 4 hours to Grady. So I
Hmm.
went to see my grandkids and got a chance to see the squirt. That's what I call Aunt. But anyway,
Hmm.
raising them, I could teach them what I knew. And
Right.
so I look at the old tapes of Brother, and I'm just I hate that they went separate ways. Although shout out to Jake and Papa, they still doing their thing. But
Hmm.
I just maybe I was trying to live my dream of the Jackson Five through them.
Hmm.
Shout out to Jr. and Anthony and Grady and Pop and Jake. I love them. It's like that's why we do try to do family day to get together and all sing together. Me as a father, that's what I love to do, to sing with my sons. That's just a dream
Right.
come true for me. And when you have kids, you'll know. But and they can all sing their butts off. Like
Yeah.
if you look on my YouTube page, the last time we were together, all together, although we didn't have a couple of the guys with us because they were busy, but mostly it was a lot of us singing one of the Winans tunes back in February 8th of this year. So, but my daughter keeps like, Dad, when we're gonna have family day again? I'm like, okay, let me get all the kids together. But it was tedious teaching those kids how to sing a day. But they're all geniuses now in their own right, and I knew I did something right because
Yes, you did.
everybody loves them. And when we all sing together, they go nuts because me and Grady and Anthony, we did a Jackson tribute, and I put a little bit of it on my YouTube page. We did it last May, and people are already calling trying to book us for that. But Grady and Anthony are just busy, um, with their because they work every weekend for the corporate gigs. Me on the company, not as much. That's why I have to hustle to do so many things. But I'm just proud that Anthony and Grady are still making that paper to take care of my grandkids.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
But they're doing good. All of them are doing good. JR is producing. He's the most wonderful producer now. Oh my goodness. And Cheyenne and Jacob, or Jake and Papa, I don't even have to tell you about them. Just look Jake and Papa up. See how many projects they produced on themselves when brother went their separate ways. They're just
Mhm.
geniuses. I can't believe and my son Papa, he's got his own clothing line called Real Ones Still Exists, Rose. He's another genius. Shout out to Pop. And Jacob is just my Zen warrior. He works people out, and he's a health fanatic. So
Mm-hmm.
all my sons and my daughters, Winter and Autumn and Brooke, they're all just beautiful people. They live in their own lives, and Winter's a wonderful businesswoman, just incredible woman with my grandbaby Jagger. And shout out to all of my offspring. Yep.
Yes, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Great. I was just gonna just to find out. I know that they asked about sort of the bias, and it wasn't from the other artists. It's just that a lot of the East Coast groups like Guy or Q Sweat and stuff, they hit hard on the radio stations and they crossed around, but we didn't see the same type of radio exposure for West Coast artists, so like Z Loop or um, um, oh, I can't remember. Chucky to a bit, but I can't remember the other person.
Chucky Booker.
Yes, but I was wondering how come you had the look, you had the voice, you had the steps, but nationally you didn't get the same amount of exposure as your East Coast
Right.
counterparts were getting. Was any particular reason that you thought?
Like I said earlier, I know that someone shut me down. The train was going so fast. At the point when I was a youngster, I didn't never thought about. I just was upset with the record company. I was mad at them because they promised to cross me over to the pop charts. You
Mm,
know, that's when you blow up. You know, and they promised to do that, and they didn't. That's why I don't know why. It's like you ask the question all the time. My son Grady asked me all the time, Dad, why didn't you blow up? You deserve it. You was better than all them cats. I'm
mm,
like, hey man, the dice didn't roll like that for me. For whatever reason, um, this music business is a cold business, man. That's what I found out.
yeah,
And Lionel Richie, I think, said it best. One out of a thousand artists make it. And you see all the beautiful talent they got on Instagram or TikTok. It's so many people that can sing. It's ridiculous that I never even heard of.
yeah,
So that's why I just continue to literally perform in front of an audience because that's when you get it on straight on with the fans, and they're right there and you can see their faces. And I see that from actors. Actors say there's nothing like being on Broadway. You can be in a movie, but Broadway you could feel their energy. And I just man, I don't have no regrets of not being in the public eye like that and not being able to walk down the street because I can just go anywhere I want now. People don't know, just, it's very seldom when people say, hey, Grady Harrell. No, I can just go and out. I can't imagine. I was talking to my son yesterday, not being able to walk in the street and just the media's harassing you at every turn. I don't want to be like that now. I
yeah,
like living a quiet life and being a Jehovah's Witness and serving Jehovah and going from door to door. And that's my main purpose in life is to preach the kingdom like Jesus Christ told us to do.
mm,
I don't care about being famous no more. I don't want nobody worshiping me. I just want to serve Jehovah God and do my music. And now I know where to put the music now on the back burner and on the
mm,
front burner, do what my Savior Christ Jesus told me to do. Preach the good news about Jehovah's kingdom that's going to solve all mankind's problems. So I don't get involved in politics because
mm,
that kingdom is in the heavens.
mm,
So that's my hope for this earth becoming a paradise again. And
mm.
Jesus promised it's going to happen. So that's my hope. That's what keeps me going.
Yeah, I know definitely. De Levant is who I was thinking about.
Oh, D, yeah, he sings with me all the time in
Yeah.
my corporate gigs. D Levance and I, we're doing D Levance, me and William Jordan, we're doing a D Levance is like my brother. He was over, I had to replace one of the guys in the temps, and D Levance is one of my temps now and one of my tops. And we're doing the Earth, Wind, and Fire tribute, me and D Levance, because D Levance plays the bass.
Okay.
And D Levance was with the Isley Brothers for like 16 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, me and D Levance were together last 2 weekend before last. We drove to Santa Barbara, California together to do our corporate show.
Yeah, no, he's been on the show. I think it was about a year ago that we
Oh,
interviewed Dilavant, and
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
and then
a day.
Chucky
Do you
was.
remember? Do you remember interviewing D. Levance a day?
No,
I
no,
didn't
this is no.
like
She
none.
wasn't there. No, so I was. Well, yeah, I interviewed him with a friend Stevie, and
Oh,
so
okay.
because I asked him the same question,
Uh-huh.
because we didn't get a lot of West Coast R&B, New Jack artists making it across it, blowing up like they did on the East Coast. Z Loop as well, Mike from Z Loop, the same thing. Apart from Chucky, but Chucky got out of the industry because, as you mentioned, the politics and the dark side. He just says, it's this, this is not for
And
me.
now Chucky is the MD for Lionel Richie, and he was the MD for Janet Jackson. So it's live music. It's cool. I mean, me man, at one time back in 2004, I was on the road with Patti LaBelle singing background,
Wow.
and for 8 or 9 months I did that. And it was beautiful because I got to meet other artists. We went over to overseas. I tell you, man, and we played the North Sea Jazz Festival where I met James Brown, James Taylor, Al Jarreau. It was so many artists at the North Sea Jazz Festival in Holland that I met just singing background with Patti LaBelle. So it was fun, you know.
You spoke to you told a day about meeting Seth Ridge, and the most famous vocal coach that ever lived. Everyone talks about him. What did he see in you that he gave you a free lesson that he probably could have charged you almost 500,000 for?
Yeah, he came back. I'll never forget that conversation. He said, "Young man, you have something special." He said, "I'm not saying I can teach you how to sing. You already know that." I'll never forget his words, but I can teach you vocal techniques that will preserve your vocals for when you get older and you won't sing your vocals out. You won't be all raspy and all that. You'll know how to do it like Stevie Wonder. Stevie still can hit those high notes like he did when he was 17 years old. And now I can as well. So thanks to Seth Riggs for that. I never knew who he was, like I said, until later in life. I'm like, I was literally over this cat's house years ago.
Wow. But how did he pick you out though? How did that happen? Was it by accident or was it?
No, he was at Ann Jillian's concert at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, and he saw my sister and I singing background. I don't know how he heard me and not my sister. We were harmonizing, so he came backstage after the concert, uh, and that's when he approached me. He said, "You stand out," and I'm like, "Who is this white dude?" So, but he was so gentle the way he spoke to me and so cool. He said, I didn't know nothing about no vocal teaching or nothing. I just taught myself how to sing. And then Seth told me to come to his house. And the rest is like, wow. I warm up. I always think about him fondly when I'm in my car. If I got to go to the strip to do a gig, I'm warming up in my car because I don't want to make people mad doing all that stuff backstage. Guys don't want to hear that. So I get in my car
Yeah,
and I
well,
do it in
Michael
my
is doing
car.
it. Michael does it.
Yeah.
Everyone's been doing it. So, well,
Yes. Everybody does a Seth Riggs technique. And I'm glad I got a chance just for like, it was just there for an hour. And it's still with me to this day. When I'm warming up, I think about Seth Riggs.
so like a day is getting into the podcasting and journalism. But for those who are trying to get into Steve's artistry, the singing, what advice would you give somebody trying to come in, especially the highs and lows that you experienced within the industry?
I say, you know what the greatest thing is? That was a great question, man. Meet as many people as you can. How do you meet people? You got to be on the scene, doing your craft, singing and dancing. You know, I've never had a card that says, here, call me, here's my card. Never. All of my work I got from word of mouth. Right now, I get so much work because people see me on, if you look at my Instagram page, my Facebook page, all I post is me singing on stage because you know what that is? The record company used to do that for you. Now
Mm.
we got something greater than that can go worldwide. I get so much work on from my social media accounts that it's incredible. But you got to stay relevant. So I'm always doing my gigs, and right now I make my money doing live performances. So I say to young artists out there, Get out in front of an audience. Have people film you, because even if the record deals don't work, the record, you can record all you want. You know, everybody records these days. It's the easiest thing to do. But is it going to become a hit? 9 times out of 10, no. You
Mhm.
know, one out of 1,000 make it. Remember that. Are you going to be on the radio? Probably not. You got the greatest artists who never made it. You know, they're on Instagram today. They're on TikTok today. So get you a band and perform in little dives. Perform, and you'll meet people. Who knows who's going to be in the audience? It
Mm,
might be a Seth Riggs in the audience. It might be a Quincy Jones in the audience that approach you and say, "Man, I like you. Come and do something for me on this BET special."
mm,
So our craft is singing and dancing. It's not just recording, because after you record, you got to go out and promote your record. Guess what? Singing and dancing. So
Mhm.
if you don't have stage presence, if you don't know how to rock an audience, guess what? You can record all you want. But the whole thing to make it whole and bring it together is singing and dancing. Get you a band, go out and perform. That live entertainment is never going anywhere.
mm.
It, recording is this part of it. And then people go on the road and they make millions. Taylor Swift made billions of dollars on her tour. Of course, you know, getting played on the radio, if your record blows up, you're going to get those royalties for
Mm.
years to come. But what if you don't? Singing and dancing.
Yeah. I mean,
Go
look
out.
at New Edition. I mean, you think, see, they worked on their stagemanship and they worked on that craft, and so they're
Woo.
still selling out tours and
Still
stuff.
burning up the stage. Boys to Men, still burning up the stage. Um, Otis Williams, the last living Tip,
I
still
don't know
out
how
there
he still
touring.
does
He's
it.
always on the road. I mean, that's what's happening, man. People want to go out and be entertained. So that's what I say to the youngsters. Learn how to perform in front of an audience. I started when I was 7, performing in front of the neighborhood. Now, thanks to Almighty God who's preserved me, I'm still able to go out and sing and dance in the voice I had when I was a young man
Mhm.
and rock a crowd. And that's what I love to do all these years later.
I did just finally for me around 88, 89, when New Jack, we had Guy, we had Troop, we had all that happening. Who, who was your inspiration for the New Jack side of when you were getting into that? Who were you looking at and said, okay, this, I know you mentioned Big Bob and Today and stuff, but who are the people that really?
Back then, Guy was hitting hard. I mean, just to meet Aaron Hall, and I met Aaron Hall when I was on the road with Vesta Williams. I was singing background with Vesta in like 1992.
Oh.
Yes, and Aaron and Teddy came to the show in Virginia, and they remembered me, like, because Eddie, I had met Teddy earlier at a BRE convention over in Los Angeles, and he's like, and we tried to get Teddy to produce some songs on the follow up album to come play with me, which would have been Romance Me. But their manager at the time,
Gene
that
Christian?
guy, the bald head manager,
Gene,
you know how much he tried to get for Teddy to get one tune? Teddy had no idea. When I
yeah.
finally ran into Teddy, I said, that guy wanted $150,000 for one tune, Teddy. And so Teddy wasn't even in the office at the time in New York. And so when I ran into Teddy,
Oh, your camera is right off.
Like,
okay, all right,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Oh,
there.
yeah. Yeah, there you are.
So Teddy and him and Aaron were together. And we were at a BRE up in the valley. I ain't lived in LA so long, I forgot this. It's Universal Studios up there. Uh, and we were up there, and Teddy came to me and said, "Dude, you're the next best thing." And I said, "Man, I tried to get that guy. I tried to get you on the next album." And so I was telling him how much that manager wanted. He said, "Are you serious?" And Teddy didn't even know. So we had to just go on because RCA wasn't giving up that kind of money for one tune. I mean, to get Stevie Wonder to produce 2 tunes, it was $50,000 a piece for
Wow.
you and me, and if ever. So I love Guy. Oh man. I hate to see how Aaron, because they were just on tour, I think last year,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
hate to
they.
see how his voice is not there anymore because he was the voice,
Mhm.
and it hurts me to see that he was struggling on tour.
Yeah,
Um, that hurt me. But anybody else that stood out to me, besides it was a lot of rap artists back then. Um, I mean, James Ingram was trying to come with another act. I really like Bubba and Today. They had a big old hit back then.
yeah, him and
Um,
me, and then why you get funky on me, and yeah,
Well, again, yeah, well, I like that tune. And we
yeah,
were on the show together over in I forget Indianapolis, but it was people hitting and missing. It was Bubba and them that never had a real big tune like that, Big Bub.
yeah.
So it was people. The record business was really fragile at that time, and rap was taking over. That's why artists like me wasn't really hitting hard, and MC Hammer was making noise back in '89.
Uh,
He blew up. But I can't even remember, even James Ingram, with all his track record, that album he was promoting on tour, we were all in this stadium together. And that album didn't do nothing for him.
yeah, I
So
didn't think it's real. I mean, it was a modest hit, but it was a departure from where the sound was going to at that time.
exactly. It was
Yeah,
rap. Rap was ruling the game in '89. They was ruling.
yeah,
I was surprised Sticks and Stones did as good as it did because rap was taking off, dude. But anybody else that Kwame made a little noise. Remember Kwame? He used
yeah,
to
yeah.
have the red
Well,
little red in his hair.
yeah,
He
yeah.
was taking off. He was a good kid. I always wondered what ever happened to him.
But yeah,
Me and him got along.
Troop with Attitude album. You know,
Huh?
Troop, the group Troop from Pasadena.
Oh, Troop. But Troop came out after us. That was years after us, I
So
think.
their first album came out in '88,
Oh, really?
and then the second album came out in '89. That was the Attitude
Oh,
album. So they had I'm Not Soup and um,
okay.
Spread My
And that
Wings. So
that
that
remake by the Jacksons. I
yes,
can't wait to get to school each day. Anyway, that's funny because I never ran into them on the road.
wow.
But now me and John is like this.
Oh, John John's
Um,
right. He's probably been on this show probably 10 times. John.
yeah, that's my dude, man.
John.
I haven't seen
Okay.
him in a while because he was living here in Vegas for a minute, but I haven't seen him in a while.
No, he's
And I know
back.
one of the members passed away.
Yes, that was Reggie. Reggie, yes.
Hmm.
But yeah, and then Rodney B's about to go solo. So it's just the three of
Right.
them that are singing now. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it's Mikhail's asking, how did you meet Lou Sal Jr.? Um,
Oh man, this is gonna trip you out. Two of the big managers, quote, executives went to junior high school with me. Benny Medina, who's still managing
what?
Jennifer Lopez.
Benny
Benny
Medina,
Medina was
head of
working
Warner
was
Brothers Black Music. He was.
exactly. Benny Medina went to Mount Vernon Junior High School with me and asked me to be a part of my young gents group. And I'm like, nah, I already got the members. Funny how kids are. I was in the seventh grade, eighth grade. And Benny Medina and Lowell Silas went to Mount Vernon Junior High School. So check this out.
Wow.
After I lost my deal with RCA, guess who I called? Never called me back. Benny Medina and Lowell Silas. Oh yeah, Grady. I would always see him out, because Hollywood was jumping back then. I could see it right now. Benny or it was Lowell coming down the steps from the Palladium. Something was happening. I said, Lowell, man, I need a record deal. I wasn't too ashamed to ask. Okay, Grady, give me a call. Call his office. Never called me back. Hey, Benny. Saw Benny. Hey, Benny. Benny was big at the time. I need a record deal. Yeah, man, call me. Never called me back.
Wow. You can't tell me that they held a grudge from when you didn't get them in, or when you were 7 years old.
Yeah, you might as well have said, yeah, when we was kids, you wouldn't let me in your group, so I'm not gonna let you on Warner Brothers.
Oh goodness! Oh goodness! Wow! Goodness!
Yeah, but it's
I
good
mean,
to see him doing well, still got J Lo and taking good care of her, taking care of her career. He just blew up, got a gang of money in his pockets.
yeah, I think those who were behind the scenes understood the score. They're the ones who made the money because they knew how the deals and everything worked. I mean, the moment
Yeah,
Jay Z became president of Def Jam, it's like, oh, so this is where the money goes. He went
that's right.
from being a millionaire to a billionaire because it's all behind the scenes. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
they were doing so much fraudulent stuff back then in the day. They would take kickbacks. I
Mhm.
learned that later. Like, you know, like say for instance, I were to come in and produce an album on MC Hammer, for instance,
Mm.
and the R&B guy of the label, he would give me a budget, and then I would kick back some money to him. Okay, I'm gonna give you $150,000 budget, but you got to give me 50,000 back under the table, no
Wow.
tax, nothing. Like it went on all the time. I had no idea that that kind of stuff went on. I thought all that money was going to producing my album, but the
Oh,
kickbacks were, and a lot of them got caught in that. A lot of them got caught, and they got fired from the companies. I won't mention any names, but yeah, a lot of them got caught with stealing money like that.
oh goodness. Did they take you to lunch and say, and then you didn't realize that was part of your non-recoup when you had to pay back
All
and
that. Yes. All of that. Even I never knew that the
What?
budget, the
yeah.
budget from making the videos. Of course, when you're young, man, you just don't think about this type of stuff. And you just want to do the video. You want to see yourself on BET and
Mm,
Yo MTV Raps and any other little stations out. You not thinking about you got to pay these people back.
yeah.
You're thinking about being out there and wanting to hear your name chanted by people. When you got a young mindset, you don't know that that adulation is just, it's just stupid. To me, it's stupid. People yelling and screaming over you, that's stupid stuff. Whereas performing is different. You're making a person feel good,
Mm.
clap to the music that they grew up listening to, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're surprised because Terry, when I interviewed him, he talked about the management would Sony would take him out, buy him a stereo and everything, and he was like, "Oh man, you guys love me," and then he later on found that all this was he was paying it back. So they were
You
buying
have to
him
pay it.
lunch, buying everyone lunch, and he had to pay. It was part of his budget. The videos, the clothes, everything that they do for you,
The advances, I
the
would go in the
advances.
office
Mm,
because the record wasn't selling. I wasn't making any money. And I would go in the event in the office. Now that Skip Miller was there at the time. Rest in peace, Skip. He took over for Eric Nuri. Eric Nuri actually signed me to RCA. Eric Nuri,
oops, went blank there.
Going black.
It went blank, but hopefully he'll be able to join. Um, yeah, they'll submit their expenses. Hopefully it will come back shortly. Um,
Still happens. That still happens.
hopefully it'll come back soon. I'll just. This was a question. He says, Grady and his son sing with Gavin Roan. Okay, I'll ask him about that just before. Um, I hope. Let me see. Now he's still signed it. Okay, he's still. Um, he's in. Okay, hopefully he'll be able to come back inside. Um, I'll be able to ask him about Grady. Yeah, the same
Mhm.
thing happened with Ezekiel said. The same thing happened with Tony Braxton. So you know what you don't recognize is when they are paying for your music videos, when they are giving you all this expenses, it comes out of your money. But you sign a record deal, and for every for every $1 that that the record earns, the label takes between 70 to 80%, and then you as an artist will take let's say 30% at the most. Out of
Mhm.
that 30%, all the expenses for making the record, the producers. Okay, there you are.
Like,
Okay,
so
sorry.
I was saying, what was I talking about?
Yeah, no, no. You just you explain about how they do the kickbacks and things and stuff, and
Yes.
people just explaining how Tony Braxton and TLC fell victim of those high
Oh
profile
yeah.
things. Um, I didn't realize. Did you? So do you know Gavin Roan? Sorry, Gavin Roan.
Gavin's like my son. He sings with Anthony and Grady. See, Gavin is a hustler. Gavin's all over the place like me. So Gavin sings with West Coast Music too. He's with Grady and Anthony's band. and so they be working every weekend. And I know Gavin very well. It's just such a small world because Gavin used to be with Third Story.
So I worked with
Um,
Edmunds Entertainment back in 2002 when, and
so
I was on this third story project, and I was,
did you meet Little Man, who
yeah.
was there before?
So I knew, so I was there when Gavin was brought in, and
Okay,
I was,
you didn't know the singer who sang before him, the little young guy.
no, so he had left, so Gavin came in, so it was him, I can't remember, but it was him and
It was him. It was KJ. It
KJ.
was K Sean. It was K Sean. Or you know KJ.
Oh goodness,
KJ was on. Remember, Everybody Hates Chris.
yes,
KJ used to wear the him,
yes.
and it was either T Sean or K Sean. The other two, it was Gavin, and it was the other guy who was came from the church.
Yes.
It was all five of them.
Yeah, there was five of
Yeah.
them. Yeah. So I
They're
worked
all
on.
good friends with my sons. All of them used to be over Anthony's house constantly. Brandy, all of I mean, we grew Brandy and Anthony grew up together. And Sonia used to drop Brandy off at our house before she blew up. If you look at her
Oh,
if you look at the credits on her very first album, she thanks me, Anthony, Grady, my friend, rest in peace, Terry, Pretty Terry. So we were all very close. And yeah,
Oh yeah, Jason. Yeah, Jason.
Jay Sean, right? Jay Sean,
Yes.
right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All of
No.
these
So
cats are
yeah, I
the,
was
sing-
in.
the singer Jason.
Jay.
I don't
No, Jay Sean. S.
Jason. Yeah.
Yeah, he used to
Yeah.
Oh,
be in
So
Third Story.
so I worked at Edmunds probably for 6 months back in 2002, and I was
Wow.
in marketing and promotion
Oh,
and yeah, and it was interesting working behind the scenes and just watching all the money they were wasting just printing out CDs and just giving them out for free. I'm like, why are you
wow.
giving out free CDs?
Yeah,
These, and the waste of the expenses. And I'm like, no wonder artists are not going to make money because I
that's
just
right.
saw the wasted money. But my issue was, and I remember speaking to Gavin at the time, and he probably won't remember that they were already acting like they were superstars when they hadn't come out, and I was like, guys, this industry, there's no guarantee and stuff. And unfortunately, I think um, Def Soul, they really just wanted to release Joe Budden. So the first single was Joe Budden. Dark Child produced it, but Jay Budden had the rap on it, and it wasn't their best. So they had some better singles that could have featured them. I still have the CD, but I try to speak to Gavin to like, man, I mean, if just do you love the music or is it the fame and everything? And so, yes, it was a pity that they didn't blow up, but
Well,
yeah.
yeah, it's all about being famous when you're young. You don't
Mm,
realize that the art of it. So they were, my sons did the same thing when Jermaine Dupri when they had their brothers to brother on BET.
mm,
They was like all acting like stars. It's just their age. You know what I'm saying? Um, and they were kids at the time. So everybody wants to be a big old star like whoever they idolizing at the time. You
yeah,
know and I don't blame them. But now that we get seasoned,
yeah,
they know it's just a job. You do that job and you go home. You let the girls alone. You let the alcohol alone. You let the drugs alone. Do your job and go home because you want to be an enigma. You don't want to be in people's faces all the time unless they won't pay to see you. You know?
yes. Well, Dave, I'll let you take back in and stuff, but I mean, definitely great. It's great. Crystal Johnson. I don't, do you still remember working with Crystal?
Yes. Yeah, I remember. I saw that interview. I haven't heard her name. It's such a shout out to Crystal, man. I just added her on Instagram because I was always wondering what happened to her. And so yeah, well, I was on this I went to high school with a guy named Andre Cleveland. He's the one that got me signed to RCA Records. And he had a production company called Tinseltown Records, Tinseltown Productions. And he signed me, Tyler Collins. So we were signed at Tinseltown, and in Tinseltown kind of like lent us out to RCA Records. So when Tinseltown somehow made Skip Miller upset. I tried to go back door and see, hey man, can I sign directly to RCA? He said no, that would be a big lawsuit from Tinseltown Production. And so I was saying before that Eric Nuri worked at RCA first. He was A&R for R&B music, and now he's married to Saida Garrett. He's her manager. Yeah. So
Oh.
he left, and that's when Skip Miller came and took over. And Skip's like, okay, they dropped the ball on Come Play With Me. When you do Romance Me, we're gonna blow it up for you. So if you see that video, and we're gonna spend money on your video, and we're not gonna have you sweating all over. So if you see me doing Sticks and Stones, man, look at it. How much? Because I'm a sweater, right? And you see me on Soul Train, dude. I told Don Cornelius, I said, hey, dude, I sweat a lot when I dance, so let me have a towel when you interview me, so I can pat my face, right? Man, so I hate looking at that Soul Train interview, dude. I'm huffing and puffing. And he said, I'm sorry, Grady, I promised you a towel. And so I'm like, I wanted to choke Don Cornelius's neck, right? And then on Sticks and Stone on the video set, and I look at the video to this day. I'm like, how could they let that? Why did it stop it and pat my face? I'm sweating. But then on Come Play With on Don't Turn Your Back on Me, it was totally different. He had big old fans. Skip Miller said, you won't be sweating on this video shoot. So I look at my face on that and I'm like, yep, it's cool. And
Oh my goodness.
that's crazy.
Well,
Oh,
Ezekiel's
remember?
saying, how does Grady look so young? He's literally the same as he did on his debut album back in '84. Wrong Side
What?
of Love, Black Don't Crack.
Oh man, I tell you, I always say that there's five foods to live by. I saw this man who lived to be 114 years old. He died a few years back in Arizona. And he said his father, who lived to be 99 years old, I was looking at this on YouTube, told him that, son, there's five foods to live by: olive oil, dark chocolate, garlic, honey, and cinnamon. Every day I get up and cut up garlic and I swallow it like vitamins with warm lemon water. And
Okay.
then I drink tea. I give my mother the same thing and put cinnamon, organic honey, but now I add cayenne pepper, ginger, um, and I put that in my tea. On the olive oil, I pour it in a little container, sprinkle lemon on it, and just take it down like that. If you Google those five foods, which I did, I've been doing it like 15 years now. And the dark chocolate is good for your heart. And no sugar, just straight 100% dark chocolate. It's a little bitter, but Google dark chocolate, garlic, honey, cinnamon, and olive oil. Do Google that stuff and see what it does to the human body. I always tell all my sons and everybody, but I do it like clockwork. I program every morning, and I tell you, man, I feel incredible. And you just got to take garlic is something, man. It just cleans you out, and that warm lemon water every morning is incredible. Swallowing with the garlic, that's what I do. Been doing it 15 years now. And I don't drink alcohol. I stopped drinking alcohol. So that
Wow.
preserves you too. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Do you
Wow.
work? Do you have a workout routine too, or no?
Workout.
Yeah, do you work
No,
out
I
or
got
no?
I gotta stop. You trying to tell me I look fat? I gotta start going back to the gym.
No, no, I'm just saying because you're keeping up with your dancing every
I
performance. Like,
know.
are you working out at the same time or?
Well, no, no, no. I'm gonna start going back to the gym since I um I like going to the gym, but I do so many shows a day. It's you see how I dance, right? And that
Yes.
cardio, it's like muscle memory too. I've been dancing like this since I was a kid. So I'm not doing nothing. I don't do no splits anymore. I don't do that back thing that Jackie used to do. Ain't that much money in the world. And so, but I can do like three turns and fall on my knees if I wanted, like Michael Jackson did on the 1988 Grammys. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't do that unless it's a whole lot of people that somebody might see me like, hey, boy, we want you on this TV show. I've been falling on my knees since last year in Canada. So
Mm.
I'll do like three turns and fall on my knees. And but I got to have on knee pads though. I can't just fall on my knees.
Oh, goodness. Well, Grady, it's been really good having you take your time, to
Man,
share the stories. I mean, to imagine, from Aretha Franklin to Stevie Wonder, such an
yeah.
amazing story. And I do wonder, did you realize how famous Aretha Franklin was when you were sitting by her on her
Oh
piano?
yeah. Because my sister Raquel sang on one of Aretha's records before she even signed us. And that was just, man, of course, we knew Aretha was big time. That's why when I used to go from La Brea and Adams and drive to Encino, California, and then I'm with Eddie Franklin, her son, shout out to Eddie.
Mhm.
And I'm seeing Marlon driving his, Marlon Jackson driving his, because they lived right around the corner from Aretha, driving his little I'm like, there's Marlon Jackson. So from West LA to there, it seems like a whole nother county away at the time. And just to be in her house, she's sitting there playing on piano. That's when she was smoking cigarettes. And that was a dream come true to be in the Queen of Soul's house. You know,
Mhm.
it was crazy. So yeah, I knew.
Did I mean, we always heard this rumor that when she performs, she doesn't like the air condition, so it affects her voice. So it's normally hot, and she's sweating a lot. Was that something that you noticed that it had to be room temperature?
No, because you know what, man? I never went to a Aretha Franklin concert. I would just see
What?
her in her house, just playing. She picked on the piano. That's all Aretha did. I sit over there and I'm messing with her. I'm sitting. She's like, "Hi, Grady." She said, "Have a seat." Eddie will be down, and I sit down, and she's got a cigarette on her, and she's just playing piano. Then she'll get up, walk to the kitchen because she had cater every day with soul food. She'll walk to the kitchen, eat a little bit, come back to the piano. She would do that for hours at the piano. And
Wow.
then she would go upstairs, and Eddie and I would go and do whatever we did, you know. Um, and so I never went to a concert, but usually any singer, if you're in a cold place like that, it's best to warm up because you warm up on stage, and as you go forward with the show, your voice gets warmer and hotter, and it gets better. If you got an air conditioning and it's cold, that's a no-no for singers. You can get sick.
Wow. I mean, it's strange that you never saw her perform live. Was there a
Never.
reason?
I never ever I never ever tried to go see Aretha. That's crazy, man. Growing up in LA, I mean, the only concert, then I'm ashamed to say it now, that I wanted to see was the Jackson Five and Smokey Robinson. I saw the Jackson Five, I saw Smokey Robinson, me and my sister, and I saw Al Green at the Forum because the Forum was literally 20-minute drive from my house.
Okay.
Um, so I saw Smokey at the Forum, the Jacksons every time they came in town, a Hollywood Bowl. I didn't start getting into because I was performing so much as a youngster that I didn't, but I made time for the Jackson Five and Smokey
Mhm.
and
Make
Al
time.
Green. I remember Al Green. I think Al Green opened up for Smokey at the time.
Okay. Okay. Well, we've kept you. I think normally we always ask at the end of the questions that if you had a favorite movie, what would it be? Just to, what's your all-time favorite movie?
Yeah, I'm a movie buff from the 1940s and stuff like that.
Oh goodness.
And so I love cats like Spencer Tracy, James Cagney, Humphrey Bogart. But anything with Denzel in it these days, I love Denzel. He's just incredible to me as an actor. And it's funny how I knew Denzel. I met Denzel before he got to be Denzel.
What?
So my manager, the African lady I was talking to you about,
Mhm.
I was over her house in Beverly Hills, and Denzel's wife knew her. So I was coming downstairs saying goodbye, goodbye, madame. And I went down. This big old mansion was on Foothill that these Africans own. I'm going down. Who's sitting in the living room but this black man? And this was like in 1984, 83, 84.
Mm.
And so I'm like, hey, man, I introduced myself to everybody. Hey, I'm Grady. I was going out. And he said, oh, I'm Denzel, to show
Wow.
you how Denzel never forgot. I lost contact with Denzel. I can't write this. And fast forward from '83, I'm like, that's that dude I met at Ben Am's house on the couch. So then to 2000, 25 years ago, y'all, he, I heard he owned a restaurant on Melrose Boulevard. It was named after his grandmother or something. So I'm like, let's go to Denzel's restaurant. Do you know? He came up to me and said, Grady, where you been, man? Denzel. He remembered me from then.
Wow.
So, yep. So anything Denzel's in it, but I love. I was watching an old movie last night. Spencer Tracy's one of the greatest actor of all times, and Jimmy Cagney. Anything Boys Town with him and Spencer Tracy and Mickey Rooney. Boys Town. It was such a great movie. Um, but now the great actors now, I like Michael B. Jordan. He's wonderful.
Okay.
Of
Yeah.
course, Angela Bassett. Oh,
You
she's
still
so.
have Angela
Oh.
Bassett.
Ah,
I heard the story.
I mean, just there's so many great actors now, man. I love watching movies. There's so many great actors that I love. But
John John's
Denzel,
watching. John John's watching. So he says, "Hey, Big Unc." John
huh?
John from Troop. John John's watching. He's live. So he just said, put a message. He's
Yeah,
saying, "Hey, Big Unc."
Hey, what's happening, John? John, I love you, baby. Ain't seen you in a long time. That's my dude, man. That's my nephew. I love it. I love John John, man.
Yeah, yeah, he's laughing. Yeah, yeah. What about your favorite song then? All-time
My
favorite
favorite
song?
song?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh God, man, it's such a wide. Ooh,
No, well,
it's such
everybody
a
has a
wide
favorite.
range of songs, man. It's got to be
If you
something
had to
by the
pick
Jackson
one,
Five or Smokey. It's
but if
it's
you had
got
to
to
pick
be.
an all-time, because everyone, the reason why we ask the questions is because, especially our artists, when you sing your own songs, but sometimes it's like, if you have that one song, that go-to song, like my all-time favorite, mine is "The Lady in My Life" by Michael Jackson.
Oh
That's
yeah, that's a good one.
all-time
I
favorite
love
song
singing
ever.
that. My favorite is him with his brothers. I guess it would probably be "I Want You Back" since that started it all.
no.
And a Smokey Robinson song, "Baby Don't Cry." Baby, baby, don't cry. Baby, baby, here's why. Because love is here, standing by my side. I just remember singing that when I was a little boy all the time. And so, "Baby, Baby, Don't Cry" by Smokey. "I Want You Back" by the Jacksons. And Aretha, her catalog is just, when you put her on,
Hmm.
it's like, oh, you're no good, heartbreaker. You're a liar and you're a cheat. So it's so many artists, man, that just one song, if I had to choose, my favorite song is by Smokey, "Baby, Baby, Don't Cry."
Okay. Okay, you got that one song. Good, good, good.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, John, thanks for tuning in and stuff. He says, love you too, fam. Yeah,
Talk to you soon, John John.
yeah. Well, Adele, I'll let you wrap it up. Take us home.
Oh, yes. Grady, thank you so much for being here. And thank you to Lee for putting us together in contact. And thank you, Namdi, who's my mentor. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here. We learned so much. And
Thank
as
you.
you know, we will process these clips to put out during the week and next week. So, keep
Okay.
in touch. Hope to see you in Vegas. Maybe.
Definitely. Yep. Yeah, man. I'll hit you up. I'll give you all my information. I'll inbox you. But thank you for having me, and I wish you much success on
Thank
your continued both of you guys continue podcast. Thanks for having me.
you.
Oh,
Thank you so
thanks
much
very
for
much.
being here.
Bye, you guys.
Love. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
Age and somewhere in between.
Us for even loving us, on which I didn't miss you really.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
Oh, I probably just gave
no. Okay.
They don't understand what Jodeci Boys win all spirits.
Play it.